So, can you see me? Hello. I notice we've got 4 people watching, so I can tell that everybody is on the broadcast. So, welcome to my online YouTube live streaming classroom. I got this idea from the video game streamers that you'll see on Twitch and YouTube. There are these people that make millions of dollars a month playing video games and streaming themselves playing video games or poker or whatnot on various places like YouTube and Twitch. And they do this, and I thought that this would be a really neat way to do the online teaching. I notice I've got 2 people watching. I hope that we've got everybody in this class. Oh no. Let's see. Well, we'll be able to see 3 concurrent viewers. Okay, so it looks like I've got a couple of people on here. All right, so this is my online video classroom. The reason that I like this much better than Microsoft Teams is because it's a little more powerful. The workflow is a little bit easier when I create lectures. And again, students don't have to learn anything. They already use YouTube. They already love YouTube. So there's absolutely nothing that students have to learn in order to use this. Now, here's the cool thing about this classroom. You see me talking right now and lecturing at you. The neat thing is I can change from lots of different screens at the touch of a button. So watch this. I'm talking to you now, and then I might decide to move down here right in front of a whiteboard. So I was teaching my chapter 20, death, dying, and grieving the other day, and I'm right here in front of my PowerPoint presentation. I can slide back and forth between my PowerPoint presentation. You know, if I want, what I can usually do is I go right up here, let's see, right up here to the top, and I go in here. So if you want, I can actually slide up here and talk to you from this direction right here. On the other hand, if I'm having a bad hair day or I need to pick my nose, I can hit this other button and I will disappear. And then you know what? Hello, and there I come back, and here I am right here with my PowerPoint presentation. Now, the neat thing about this too is I can also go and I can share my screen with you. So I just clicked on a button and now I'm sharing my screen with you, and you can see my Blackboard class. One of the things that I want you to know about my Blackboard class while I'm showing to you is that I color code my class. So I've got 3 colors. Red means it's graded content, black means it's informational content, and blue means it's optional content. So one of the things that I do in my course design is when my students take a class, and you go in here, you'll notice that I use the color coding. So I have blue. These are just videos that the student can watch if they are interested. You'll notice then I have the learning outcomes. I have the links to the lectures down here. And then down at the bottom are the red activities that my students have to do every week in my class. And so I can use color coding. Now, the neat thing is I'm sitting here sharing my screen with you. But you know what? I could hit one button and now I'm right here in front of you and I can talk to you like this. Or if I want, I can go back to my PowerPoint presentation just that quickly. You know, sometimes I like to, even if I want, I will sometimes I'll have an opinion and I'll step into my soapbox and I'll lecture the students. Now, the neat thing is none of you are doing it right now, but you can be live chatting right now. And sometimes I'll have 10 or 15 students in class and they'll be chatting up their opinions about what we're talking about in class. So I can do all of these really useful things. Now, one of the neat things that I can also do with this that's not as easy to do with Microsoft Teams is I can hit a button right here and I can go to a pad right here. I've got a secondary camera. The neat thing about this is you can use secondary cameras, which doesn't work very well. I've tried to do this in Microsoft Teams, and Microsoft Teams doesn't do well with the secondary camera. But I can do with the secondary camera right now. And you know, here's what I'd like to explain. This is where I'd like to take a moment to explain to you how I teach a fully synchronous class to all of my students without killing myself. Now, let's think about it. Your typical seated teaching schedules, each student receives about 3 hours of contact. I know it's 2.5 hours, 50-minute classes, but let's say 3 hours of contact per week. If you teach 6 classes, right, that's 18 hours for the teacher, right? And that's a lot of hours spent giving the same lecture and talking about the same thing over and over and over again. With this YouTube lecture, what I can do is I can do a fully synchronous schedule and save myself some time. So let's say I have course A, and I have 4 sections, and I have course B, and I have 2 sections. Okay, what I do is I teach 1 lecture or 2 lectures a week for all 4 sections of A, and I do 2 lectures a week for sections B. So that's 4 hours of lecturing I have to do. And then what I'll do is I'll do 2 webinars for course A and 1 webinar. So 2 webinars for A and 1 webinar for B, which is 3 hours. So I've got 7 hours of contact, and my students each get 3 contact hours a week. So I do it on YouTube, where I lecture to all of my students, and then I have my webinars where my students do all of the talking. And what this does is this allows me in a sense to recreate a fully synchronous experience while not killing myself. I give 1 introductory lecture series a week, and all 5 sections or all 6 sections can come to this same lecture. And so for 2 hours a week, I'm giving my basic psych lecture. And then what I do is I set up smaller webinars, and during that webinar, what I can do is I can focus the attention on the students, and I let them talk. So just like in a regular seated class, your student gets 2 hours of lecture a week and 1 hour of group activity every week. And what I do is I set up redundancies so that my students can either choose to do the fully synchronous activity, or if they don't have time, they can watch recorded lectures and they can do the discussion boards instead of coming to the webinar. And so it allows the students the choice to decide how they're going to interact with the class. Is that awesome or what? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Wow. Oh my goodness. Thank you very much. Yes, you're right. I also have sound effects too. So when I introduce myself in the mornings, I give myself a round of applause. When it's time to talk about the exam, my students also have an opinion too. So I let them do that. And then the neat thing is, I even have little short video clips that I can use to brand my lecture. So I can brand my lecture just like that. And so what I can do all of this on the fly without even thinking about it. I've got hotkeys, and it makes it very easy for me to, in a sense, create very complex lectures that are already recorded and already have captions on them when I'm finished with the video. Okay, I'm running out of time, so I'm going to go ahead and close this out. I will meet you back in the meeting room, in the Microsoft Teams meeting room in about 1 minute. Okay, take care.